Okay, we are on video number 25. That means the blueprint is almost finished. Hold on, I want to make this a little. Let's stay. All right, that looks good. Yeah, we're at video number 25. It means we're almost done with this blueprint 2.0. I've pretty much gotten all the videos out there that I want to get as of now. Again, the more I grow over on social media in the upcoming years, the more videos I'll make because the more experience I'll get. Again, this is the way I trade. If you guys don't like it, you don't have to watch it. This is the way I trade and it works best for me. And we actually hit a good trade today, which you'll probably see when I make the screen smaller when we go over what we're going to go over. But again, you can probably tell by the description or whatever the hell it's called, the caption. We are going to be going over take profits and stop losses, right? These are very important. They're pretty simple. Again, I'm going to show you guys a couple ways how I use my stop losses and take profits because sometimes I have people ask me, how do you base your stop loss on a trade? How many ticks do you usually use? This, that, blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm going to go through all that stuff and explain to you where I put my stop losses and why I'll do that. So again, let's jump into the market. We'll do this live on the chart. So I'll make this smaller. Whoa, switched over there. And I'm growing out my hair. So again, you see the back of it. I'm trying to grow out my hair long again. You guys haven't seen me with long hair yet, but I used to have long hair. Yeah, I'm growing out my hair again. We'll see if I commit to it this time. We were close last time and I ended up buzzing it again. But let's go over take profits and stop losses. So I'm going to make this into one screen. I'm going to go to a different, I'm going to go to micro. For you guys again because I have to film an in-depth trade recap after this. So, all right, let's go over take profits and stop losses. So, if you don't set a stop loss, right, you should. Again, stop losses keep us from losing all our whole account, blowing accounts, and losing a lot more money than we want to, especially when there's high volatility in the markets, or if you don't pay attention to news. And again, news goes crazy. You could blow your account in 2 seconds. There's a reason why we set stop losses so we don't lose a lot of money. So we have a good risk management system. So the market doesn't just skyrocket against us and you end up blowing everything. It's a protection barrier so that, hey, if you lose this trade, you risk this amount of money to get involved in this trade. You should be okay with taking that risk because, again, you're going to be developing a risk to reward system, a strategy over time, a game plan, and something you can stay very disciplined with over a long period of time. And again, it gives you room to be able to trade more. So it's like right now I'm on these 7PA accounts, and this is all probably going to change once I start making more money on live accounts and stuff like that. But personally right now, I'm trying to get past the $2,500 buffer on these accounts, so I've been taking my time, right? I try to risk around $200 to $225 a trade. Today, for example, I stick to a rule system. I usually go 3 to 4 micros. If it's on NASDAQ, let's say, if it's more than 25 points, right, today's stop loss was 27 points. I decided to go 3 micros instead of 4, right? Because, again, I didn't want to risk more. I usually don't risk 4 micros if it's past 25 points. And, again, that's me personally. That's how I trade. That's how I'm trading my accounts, and that's what systems works best for me to slowly build these accounts over time. And, again, that's just experience in the markets of developing a system, learning what works best for me, and we're all different. We all have different risk and emotions and psychology, all this stuff. That's something you have to go figure out and work on with yourself. But again, I'm going to show you where you can set your stop loss and your take profits to be able to, hit good trades, not lose a lot more money than you want to, get out of the market when it's best to. Again, we don't want to get FOMO and just let trades run till wherever the hell you want it to. Again, you try to find key levels where it's best to take profits off of your risk to reward system, let's say 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. If that, let's say, we are in a short position, we're probably targeting a high time frame draw on liquidity, like a 4-hour or 1-hour draw, right? Then we target that and get out of the market. We don't get FOMO if the market continues in that direction. You made your profits, you're done, you did your job for the day, and we move on, right, to the next day. That's the way I personally trade. I don't swing trade, nothing like that. I'm trading at a specific time every single day. I want to get in and out. And that's it, right? On NASDAQ and ES. So, what we're going to do, let me take a sip of my iced tea. I will type it out for you guys, which I usually don't do. I usually have that prepared. But again, I was thinking about this video for a long time now, and I think I can just wing it. I'm just being honest with you. I could just, especially I've been working on this Discord a lot. That's why I've been slacking a little bit on these videos. And I've been teaching more people. I just keep getting more experienced over time, and I just think I can just do this stuff now without having to prepare, which is good. But all right, so number one. Let's go over take profits. All right, that is not how you spell take profits. All right, take profits. Where do we want to take profits, right? Let's say high time frame draws. Not the best at typing. Draws, let's say you can do previous, let's say previous day low / high. And you guys can screenshot this and write it down in your notes. Previous, I'm blanking out. Previous day low and highs, right? High time frame draws. What else? Let's do 4-hour draws. We got 4-hour. There's the money sign. 4-hour. And let's do 1 hour. That's probably the most I would target, right? And that'll be lows / highs, right? Bang. Take profits, right? You can target high time frame draws and liquidity, like previous day highs and lows, 4-hour highs and lows, 1-hour highs and lows, whatever you're targeting, right? Let's say we sweep out. I should be able to talk to you guys like this now because I think you watch all the videos and you should be getting better at trading. Let's say we sweep out buy side liquidity, right? We see a 5-minute break structure to downsides, get onto 1-minute time frame. We retrace into a fair value gap equilibrium, get our entry. We're targeting to take a sell position, right? We ended up sweeping a high time frame draw on liquidity. Let's say we swept out a 4-hour high. What do we want to target? We want to see our confirmations, our continuation confluences, all that stuff first, find our entry, and then we want to target our high time frame draws on liquidity for sell side liquidity, right? So let's say our 4-hour lows, our 1-hour lows, our previous day low, and stuff like that, right? So that's one way you can take profits, and we'll go over that in the market. And I'll literally bring up the example from today for that too also. Number two, let's do take profits also. We'll come to stop losses in a second. You can target 15-minute draws. Why do I keep doing the fucking uppercase? You got 15-minute draws. 5-minute draws. Highs. Highs/lows. Right? Other take profits you guys can take, again, if it's good based off your risk to reward, is, again, let's say you have high time frame draws and liquidity, right? Very, very far down. Let's say it's a 1 to 3.5 risk to reward for that full trade to hit full take profit, right? I personally like taking partials. Sometimes if we have a risk to reward where it's a 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2, and I want to let that trade run, I'll take partials, right? And where can we take partials? At these areas, the 15-minute draws and liquidity. So we could take out, let's say, again, for example, we take out buy side liquidity, right? Let's say we have a 15-minute low at a 1 to 2 risk to reward. If you want to take off partials right there, like let's say 50% of your position size or even 25% of your position size or 75% of position size, right? Because it's a 1 to 2. You could take those off at the areas like 15-minute lows or 5-minute lows, right? Those are also good draws in liquidity to take profits at or take partials. Excuse me. I personally don't take all my profits. Excuse me. Because again, I like targeting high time frame draws and liquidity because that's the way I personally trade. But again, to take partials, 15-minute lows, 15-minute highs, 5-minute highs, 5-minute lows, those are good areas too, right? Another thing, we can do 3. What's another one? Let's go over data. We got data highs/lows. I'm just going to type these out. 4 equal highs and lows. What else? Oh, and you can do Sorry for the typing, guys. This is why I usually don't do it. We do data highs and lows, equal highs and lows, and oh yeah, fair value gaps. I usually target high time frame fair value gaps, but I'm just gonna say 15 minute slash 1 hour slash 4 hour. Yeah, let's throw 5 minute in there too. Sometimes I take partials at 5 minute fair value gaps. There we go, fair value gaps. Bang. All right, you guys should be able to see that, right? You should be able to screenshot that. All right. Here are your take profit levels that you guys can use. Personally, go back, study these, see what works best for you, right? When I'm in the market, this is the stuff I mainly look for. Again, we already went over 1 and 2. Number 3, data highs and lows. Let's say we have news at 8:30, right, a.m. We're trading New York session, or we have news at 10, right? News drops. It's a very big move on news or something like that, especially like 8:30 CPI or PPI or something like that. Or maybe like FOMC drops at 2 or something like that. You target it the next day. These are good draws on liquidity to target, right? Data highs and data lows. If we're looking like we're going to continue in the direction, let's say we swept out data highs already, we're breaking structure to the downside, we swept the high time frame draw too, we want to target stuff down below, data lows can be another good spot to target your full take profit. Another one, you guys should already know this. Again, you probably hear it a lot on social media. Equal highs and equal lows. Those are always a strong draw on liquidity to target if the market's moving in that direction. And then finally, usually I don't do this a lot, but again, take profits at fair value gaps. You have the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 1 hour, or the 4 hour fair value gaps. I never target 1 minute fair value gaps. And as that goes through my mind right now, 6. Order blocks, and I personally don't use breaker blocks, again, because they're a little bit more confusing to me, honestly. I don't use them in the live market. I usually just use order blocks, but again, something else you could target. I've done it before. It works pretty well. Order blocks and breaker blocks. I'd recommend maybe doing 5 minute, 15 minute, and then high time frame order blocks. We'll put this like that. Bang. Bada boom. Right? Oh, that's good. Peach tea. We gotta fix this. Cool. Alright. Screenshot that. Write that down in your notes. Now we're gonna go over stop losses. So I'm gonna put this up here. We'll keep this open right now. I want to put this on the blank sheet because again, I gotta film an in-depth trade recap for the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, join the Discord. Links in the description. It's a good community. I post in-depth trade recaps for them, and I want to make sure that all my confluences are still there, so I don't forget anything for them. All right, another one. Number 1. Let's do stop losses. Hold on 1 second. All right. What the hell? You're whistling. All right. Stop losses are pretty simple too, guys. What do I want to say first? All right. For stop losses, we can do above, highs / lows, which we will go over, I promise, but we're just going to write these down in our notes. again, in these video guys, I'm not editing anything. This is just me fully straight talking to you, being myself. If I pause like that and stuff, I just had to answer a text message real quick. But again, I'm just trying to teach you, be myself. I'm not trying to freaking, I don't know. You understand what I'm saying. All right, stop losses. Above highs and above low and below lows, right? If we're in a short position, you can set it above the highs, the 1 minute highs, the most recent 1 minute highs, or a 5 minute high. Matters what your risk tolerance is. Again, we'll go over that. And you guys got to go back and back test this to learn, right? You're going to go back and back test this stuff and see how your trades play out. And you just develop over time, right? Number 2. When equilibrium gets invalidated. Did I spell that correctly? I think so. All right, stop loss when equilibrium gets invalidated. I'm going to show you guys that too. Just keep it down your notes right now. I'll show you that. I use that today. I usually, again, if I mark equilibrium on the 1 minute time frame and I'm entering off a 1 minute equilibrium, I'll put it, that's like putting it over the most recent highs, right? It's the same thing as like number 1, but you have equilibrium. I put it where equilibrium gets invalidated, right? When you draw it, let's say we're in a short position, you draw it from the high to the low. You'd have your stop loss at the high. If we're in a long position, you draw it from the low to the high, right? You put your stop loss below the low. Usually when equilibrium gets invalidated, that means the trade's wrong. Again, it does suck to get stopped out by the tick and price continue in your direction, but that's just trading. That's just the market. That's going to happen sometimes. You can't get emotional over that. I usually set this where equilibrium gets invalidated because, again, if it does, it usually means that price wants to continue in the other direction first. And why do we keep stop losses? So we don't lose more money and blow our accounts, right? We're following a system. We got a risk management system. We're going to follow that every single trade, every single day, and we're going to build profitability over a long period of time, right? Cool. Number 3. You can use the fib sometimes, but I don't. The 79% extension, you could set a stop loss at. I personally don't. I see some people do it. Again, go back. Let me do this real quick. I don't want to talk and type. Because I don't be spilling. You can use a 79% extension. I'll make a video on this too, guys, if you guys need me to. But again, use the 79% extension. You can see that, right? Move it over here. Let's just draw it up for an example right here while we're on this chart. Let's see. Again, you bring the fib from the low to the high, right? So let's say we want to be in a short position. Again, this is on the hourly time frame, but you could set your stop loss at the 79% extension, because if we close past the 79% extension, we're most likely going to continue in the opposite direction. And yeah, that's why we set it there. I personally don't do it a lot, but I have done it before. Right, we'd set our stop loss right there, as you can see, at the 79% extension. And again, maybe your entry was this down candle or something like that, and you got it on this entry. This would be your stop loss, and then you target your levels down below based off what we learned above. Okay, cool, pretty simple. Again, we can go over that again when we go into the chart a little bit more. Number 4. What would be, number 4. Was created. Where the fair value gap was created. All right, this one's going to be a little bit confusing, but we'll put these to the side. Still see these. This is what I mean by where the fair value gap was created, right? We know a fair value gap consists of 3 consecutive candles, right? If we're in a downtrend, let's say, we can put our stop loss above where the first fair value gap was created, right? I want to see where price retraces into a fair value gap. Okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, look. Right here, we have a fair value gap, right, guys? Again, this is on the 1 hour time frame. We're just going over examples. You have to go back and back test this, right? Make this red. There's a fair value gap right here, right? Price comes into our fair value gap. We get selling pressure out of it, right? Let's say you entered off this candle. You scale down to the lower time frame. You entered on this candle before we got that big move down. Meaning we put the stop loss where the fair value gap was created, right? Since we're in a bearish trend. First candle, second candle, third candle. Above where the fair value gap was created. The first candle, right? Right at the top of this wick. That's sometimes where I'll take profits. Again, this could be the same as above the highs or the lows. This could be your stop loss up here. Again, I'll just make this red. That could be the same thing, but again, in this instance, where the fair value gap was created, the first candle, right? 3 consecutive candles down. You guys should know this by now. This is pretty simple with the fair value gaps by now. First candle, second candle, third candle. Where was the fair value gap created? With this candle right here. So we put it at the top of that wick right there, okay? Same thing with the other direction, right? Where do we have a bullish fair value gap? That can go off of, all right, here. Look, we have a bullish fair value gap right here. Green, right? We come in, first candle, second candle, third candle. Oh no, this is the first candle. I'm so sorry. And I say this is so complicated. First candle, second candle, third candle, right? We're in a bullish trend. Where was the fair value gap first created? At this low, the first candle, right? So we mark out the bottom wick. This will be our stop loss. Let's say this was our entry or something like that. Again, we're just going over an example. This is our entry, the candle closure above that. And then your stop loss would be where the fair value gap was created. The first candle, bottom wick. Cool? And then you target your draws above. Like this. Here you go. 1 to 2, risk to reward. Didn't get stopped out. Boom. Cool. And that's on the 1 hour time frame. That's just going over an example. Pretty simple. I think that's it. Right? It's pretty much all I use. Above highs and lows, when equilibrium gets invalidated, the fib, 79% level, where the fair value gap was created. I think that's it. If I have more, I'll make another video on this in the future if you guys want me to. But yeah. Alright, let's go over today's trade for the example, and then we'll cut this video because, again, it's 22 minutes long. Take a screenshot, take a picture, put it as your home screen, something. Get it, got it, boom, wrote it down in your notes. Cool. Awesome. Deleted, gone. You gotta go back and watch it. Or find it, or something. Let's go to today's trade to go over take profits and stop losses, right? You guys already got, holy crap, this trade would have been crazy, guys. Look how much it could have ran. Wow. FOMO right now. This trade that we went today, we could have let it run for a 286 point move. But instead we hit a 78 point move, which is still pretty freaking good. Don't care what anybody says. All right, look. We already have the notes. You guys have a screenshot down. This is going to be a live example of what we did today in the market that actually worked. So this is perfect. What did we do today? I took a short position. If you want to go back and watch the trade recap, the date on this trade is 8/19/2025. Go back and watch it, and it goes in depth on how we took the trade. Right? Pretend we know. We scaled down to the 1 minute time frame. Right? I took a trade off us reacting off of a 15-minute fair value gap. Right? We could see on the higher time frame, we're reacting off a 15-minute fair value gap. Right? I scale down to the 5-minute time frame. I see we're coming into, what do we got? Equilibrium. Which we don't, this is going to be me going over trade recap. So again, don't worry about that. We scale down to the 1 minute time frame. We're looking for our entries, right? I see we come into the 15-minute fair value gap. We disrespect a 5-minute bullish fair value gap, right? I'm like, cool, this trade's setting up. So what do I want to wait for? I mark out equilibrium, right? From the most recent highs to the most recent lows. You should already know how to use equilibrium. I have a video on it. Highs to the lows, right? Then I look for my break structure to the downside, right? We got our break structure. I entered in on this candle. Once it came back up a little bit, this was my entry. Where did I put my stop loss? Where equilibrium gets invalidated or the most recent high, right? Entry, equilibrium gets invalidated. So if price wanted to come back up, right? Yeah, we would have gotten stopped out, but that could have saved us from price continuing all the way up and taking out these high time frame draws and liquidity, right? We set a stop loss for a reason, and I've already explained that like 3 times. But in this case, this live trade, I put my stop loss above where equilibrium gets invalidated. That was a 30-point stop. That's why I went in 3 micros on this trade. I usually trade 3 or 4 micros on these PA counts. They're 750K PA counts. Trying to build past that buffer slowly. I'm in no rush. But again, anything over 25 points, I decided to go 3 micros. So again, followed my rules, put stop loss. This is plenty of room for a stop loss. This is plenty of room for price to play around for a little bit. And I just wanted to continue down. So what did I target? Right? Here's a 5-minute low. Right? First take profit. This 5-minute low. Didn't want to take it because look, we look at the risk and reward. It's not even a 1-to-1. We don't want to take partials there, right? Where could our second take profit be if we wanted to take partials? Right? We have a 15-minute low right here. I mark out this 15-minute low. Oh, cool. That's a 1-to-2 risk to reward. That's pretty good to take partials, right? So I took my partials at this 15-minute low. Cool. Took 25% off of my trade because I went in 3 micros. Right? I don't know. Would that be 25%? Maybe. I don't know. Something. All right. Continue. What do we have down below, right, that we're targeting? This is why we took this trade. Look. We have a 4-hour low right here. We have a 4-hour low right here. We go to the 1-hour time frame. We have a 1-hour low and a 1-hour low. 4 high time frame draws in liquidity, right? That's a huge draw. They're stacked up on top of each other. This is low resistance draws in liquidity. This is perfect. We could target that. The market looks like it wants to continue down. We're going to target those areas for our take profits, right? As you can see, what the hell is that? I don't know what even that tool is. What is going on? Okay, I don't know what the hell that was. Right, we have those high time frame draws and liquidity down below. Second take profit was here. Again, at the 1-hour low, right? This is a 1 to 2.6 risk to reward. That's plenty, right? I wanted to target all these, but I didn't have the balls. I took one of my profits here for my second TP. Then I trailed my stop loss above the just like the most recent high, basically, when I was on my broker. And then we ended up getting hit on this candle. And then my third TP got stopped here because I trailed my stop. But I wanted it to run all the way down to here, here, here. But we ended up getting stopped out here. So first take profit was a 1 to 2, basically. Second take profit was a 1 to 2.53. And then third take profit was a 1 to 2.29, which is plenty, right? And again, once we went flush down like this and we got past that 5-minute low, right? That's when I moved my stop loss down a little bit. It's like above a high or something like that. So we de-risk, right? So if price wants to retrace back up to a little bit, stop people at a break even, then continue down, we're good. I don't set price to break even until I hit my first take profit. Once we hit that 15-minute low, break even was set, and then we let the runners do their thing. All right, so this trade, literally, I put my stop where equilibrium gets validated, literally live. You can go back and watch the whole live session. It worked. This is the way I trade, guys. This is the way I've learned. You should go back and back test all the stuff I just taught you. Go back. You should know how to trade now, especially from watching the boot camp. You don't have to know how to trade, but you should overall have an idea what your strategy is, and you should be back testing that on demo, live trading with demo, and overall just back testing on FX Replay or something like that. But again, just go back, experiment with this. I can give you the tools, but you have to put in the work, the time, and the effort to see how it works based off of the way you trade and see what works best for you, right? Again, this is just me giving out information of the stuff I've learned through the 6 years of trading, and this is what works best for me, and I hope it helps a lot of people out there. So again, this is take profit and stop losses. Hopefully this helps some people out there understand this stuff a little bit more. Again, this stuff is very important. It's very simple. Again, you're going to get it down pretty easy, but you got to make sure to put in the work with it. It's not just going to magically come out of nowhere. You got to put in the work with it because this can help you in the long term with trying to become profitable and be consistent over a long period of time. And that's why we have these rules, these take profits and stop losses. So again, like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Come join the Discord. It's a great community. The link will be down below. Again, it is $9.99 a month. I think it's worth it. I really think it's worth it. But again, it's a great community, and I just come check it out. We also have a free section. You guys can just chat with the VIP people and all that stuff. And yeah, we just want to keep that thing growing. All right, appreciate it. Hope my videos help some people out there. Again, I'm giving you guys the full honest truth on how I trade. I'm going to keep getting better over time. I love this stuff. I do it for a living, and this is my job. So again, I'm going to get better over time. I'm excited to see where we get in 2 years from now. Right? I say in some of my videos, I'm excited to see where we get on social media and as a trader, and I'm just going to keep getting better every single day. Cool. Awesome. Have a good one. Goodbye.